Hey guys, welcome to T Heart Books. I'm so glad that you found my channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you're a subscriber, welcome back. Y'all, today I want to share with you my June wrap up and my July TBR. June was a different month. So I set out in June to read 6 books. Let me show you what I got. So this was my June TBR. It got pretty. I only read 3 of these books in June. I would say June was a very different month. It was a heavy, I didn't get a lot of reading done. Let's just say that. I didn't get a lot of reading done. I had 6 very good hopefuls, and I didn't get a lot of reading done. But I want to talk to you about the 3 books that I did get read, and they were pretty good books. So let's chat about it. Now, the first book that I want to talk about, and I'm not putting these in any orders. I'm pulling up my Goodreads so I can tell you my star rating. Now I really don't follow a bunch of people on Goodreads, but if you want to follow me, I'll link it below. But I'm on Fable also. I kind of like Fable's rating because you can go a little bit more in depth. Fable, like with your star rating, like you can do like halves and points and things like that on Fable. But I am on Fable at T Heart Books. But I'll link my Fable account below so you can kind of follow me if you want to. But that's kind of what I do. I really don't go in depth with reviews, but I just kind of use it for my own personal tracking. But first book I want to talk about is Change of Heart by Fallon Ballard. This book was super cute. This I found, I think I saw it on Shaughnessy's channel. And I picked this up, and this is super cute. This book is giving Hallmark vibes. It is about a workaholic named Campbell, and who doesn't have time for love, doesn't have time for dating, and she goes on this date with a guy, and she treated him badly. And next thing you know, she gets the waitress that is waiting on them thought that they were such a cute couple, and then she's like, this is not happening, all the things. He was very nice. He was a pediatric surgeon. And so she goes home at the end of the date, which she was horrible at the date. She started working on the date, and she goes home, but she wakes up in this Hallmark-esque town, and she's not in her town. She's very made up. She is in this little small town, and she has to do several things to get home. And who's her next door neighbor? None other than the guy that she went on a date with. And so it goes through all those types of things, all the quests that she has to do, which is like a festival. She has to work. She's working at a waitress, and she's a lawyer. And she just kind of comes to like really know things about herself, figure out who she is, and of course she falls in love. This was super cute. I gave this 3 stars. Yeah, I gave it 3 stars. If you like Hallmark, very clean. There was like maybe one, I give it like a 1 spice level. It really wasn't that bad. But it was giving Hallmark vibes. I thought the atmosphere was cute. I thought her coming to herself and a realization that, you know, she really was not a nice person, but she was and all in all, she did end up becoming a nice person. She just felt very isolated, and like work was only things that she had to do because she didn't want to be like her mom, but she wanted to impress and inspire her grandmother. But yet her mom chose to live life according to her rules and have a little bit more freedom instead of working by and just trying to find success all the time. And so this was super cute. Change of Heart by Fallon Ballard, 3 stars. Okay, so the next one that I want to talk about is Summer in the City. Y'all, let's go to Summer in the City. I thoroughly thoroughly enjoyed this book. I gave this 4 stars. This book was so cute. It was my first Alex Astor book, and if you don't know, I believe Alex Astor wrote the not sci-fi, fantasy series. I believe it's called Nightbane. I actually bought it. I'm gonna do a haul video. Or Lightlark. Lightlark is the first book in that series. And so I picked this up. This is her first debut in romance. And so I picked this up, and it's Summer in the City, and this was super cute. This book is about she goes to New York, and the first time that she meets this MMC was some years ago they were at like a club or whatever, and there was like a quick little kind of like hookup or whatever, and he says something to offend her, and in that she just decided, look, she stopped the whole thing, and like he became her arch enemy. In her head, he didn't think about it anymore. And so she ends up bumping into him again because she's house sitting in New York because she has to write a screenplay, and he ends up being her neighbor. And then it kind of falls in from there. You get to see New York, scenes in New York, because she has to go out and write about these things. They end up making a pact where she begins to fake date him because he needs a date, and she needs to write her screenplay. But the only reason why she can write is because she doesn't like him, but he really does like her. And then it was just like enemies to lovers type situation, forced proximity, fake dating, all the things. This is it. I really like the way that Alex described New York. It made you feel like you were there, made you want to go there. I really did like it, and I did like this. Sometimes the FMC in this book really upset me. She was just so unforgiving. And I thought and that's why I didn't rate it higher than what I did. I think I rated it 3 stars. I did. I rated it 3 stars. I really liked the MMC in this book. But for her, it's hard for me to give a book 4 stars when I really don't like the main character. And I liked some parts of her, and I kind of understood a little bit of why she was the way she was. But she was trying to prove a point that was kind of mute, I think, because she didn't quite understand her mom. She had mama issues. That's what it was. I felt like she had mom issues. So, and she just didn't forgive. And when he was trying to show his love to her and everything, like if it involved money, she was like, She was very prideful, I thought. But at the end of the day, I really did like the MMC. I liked them together. And so, but I did give it 3 stars. And then I picked up Lightlark off from Alex Astor because I did enjoy the writing. Okay. All right. Let's talk about the Sirens. Now, the Sirens was actually in my May TBR, but I ended up reading it. It took me a while. This was a slow book for me. I gave it 3 stars. This book is about sisters. So it's sisters separated by hundreds of years, but bound together more than what they thought. Right? So it was 2 sisters 100 years ago and 2 sisters in the present. I believe it was in 2019 is where she starts it. And this had some hard family dynamics, hard historical dynamics, and just how society treats women and their devalue of women, but yet the strength of women is what I think is this book was about. It was a mystery. It was some fantasy, some strong women, right? And yet there was also a lot of dysfunction too, and it took place where a lot of healing had to take place. But yeah, I gave this 3 stars, and the reason why I think I could have gave it more, the writing was good, but I think because the going back the 100 years and trying to understand like what that had to do with the present story was a little bit confusing to me, and it was a little slow to me. But all in all, I gave this 3 stars. They said Wayward by this author is really good. I don't know if I'll read anything else by her. I don't know if Wayward is my cup of tea, but I did enjoy my time with the Sirens. Now, I soft DNF a book. Let's talk about, and this was really sad for me, but The Love Haters by Catherine Center. I thoroughly enjoy Catherine Center, and I'm wondering, this is a soft DNF. It's not a hard DNF. I did this, I just could not get through with it. I did not care about it, and I think it was where I was in June. June was my mental health was giving me the business in June, and I started this at the beginning, and I'm like, I just don't care about them, and so that's kind of where I left off on this one. I think I got to 100 pages. I may pick this up at some point, but not right now. I do enjoy Catherine Center, so I don't think it was the book. I think it was just me. So soft DNF on The Love Haters by Catherine Center. Let me know what you guys have read this book and what you thought about it, because I've seen several people on the YouTube has said that this was really good, so I do think it was probably me in the timing. So this may be just a soft DNF. And those are the books that I read in June. Like I said, I only got 3 books read in June, and sometimes that happens. 3 books is not bad. I did have a good time with the ones that I read. So, but let's get into our July hopefuls, because we've got some really good options for July. These are the July hopefuls. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9 hopefuls for July. I got 9. Normally I try to get 5. Y'all know I try to at least get 5 to 6 options with the hope of getting at least 4 of those read. On a good month, 5, right? But this month I'm like, look, I bought a lot of books, y'all. I bought a lot of books in March, April, May, in June. Y'all seen the hauls, right? So I'm like, I'm gonna spend the summer, July, August. Summer still for us in the South is September, even though we go into fall. It's still warm, so I'm counting it. I'm gonna spend July, August, and September reading all the books that I bought, right? Even though y'all see my shelf, and I got 2 shelves over this side. I got a lot of books to read. Now, a lot of these I have read, but I have a lot of books. But the new releases were hidden. They were eaten. They just were. And so I bought quite a few books, but I want to read them. And so I have vacation in July, and I have a lot of time off in July. And so I figured I can boost my TBR up. And let me tell y'all, if y'all are not doing reading sprints on TikTok, y'all, I'm telling you, I get a lot of reading done on sprints. I love doing reading sprints, and I don't want to host a sprint, but I like getting on sprints because it gives me like designated time to just read, and the yapping is good. I like it. It feels like, because nobody in my family reads, and so for me to get time with, even though it's online, but to get time with book people, I love it. So that has helped me out too. But let's talk about these hopefuls that we got going on. The first one I want to talk about is Legendborn. I'm not going to say what Legendborn is about because everybody and their mama knows, I would think. It's a fantasy book. It's YA fantasy. I'm late to the party. I am reading Legendborn by Tracy D. What's her name? Let's get her name right. Tracy D. Jackson. Okay, so I'm reading Legendborn. It has taken me some time to read it because fantasy has a lot of world building, a lot of terminology, and that's what book 1 is given. And so we're doing Legendborn. That's one. But that is on my Kindle. I'm taking my time reading it. It's a little over 500 pages, and we're doing that on Kindle. Okay. I'm also doing the 75 Holy Challenge. And part of that challenge is to read a devotion or some type of Christian book. And I chose to read Experiencing the Holy Spirit by Henry and Melvin Blackaby. I've read this book before, but it's been some time, and I thought this would be good to read during this 75 days. I am praying that through this challenge I will build some discipline, get recentered in my my devotion time, and just experience God in a whole new way. And I'm believing God for my health to improve as I am prioritizing my time with the Father and my physical health. Okay, so that is my book for the Holy 75 Holy. Okay, now these are the rest of the books that I am hoping to get to. Now, it's a love story by Annabelle Monaghan. This is one of the newer books that I bought. This came out, I believe it came out, I don't know when it came out, but it was one of the new releases for this year, and I got it. I have quite a few of Annabelle Monaghan books, and I think I've read one. I completed one. I'm not sure. I probably know Summer Romance I put to the side. I think I was in a reading fall. Anyway, it's a love story, Annabelle Monaghan. This is about Jane Jackson spent her adolescence as poor Janie Jakes, the barbecue sauce in her braces punchline on America's 5th favorite sitcom. Now she's trying to be taken seriously as a Hollywood studio executive by embracing her new mantra, fake it till you make it. Because, look, we know how that is. Except she might have faked it too far, desperate to get her first project greenlit and riled up by pompous cinematographer and one-time crush Dan Finnegan. She claimed that she could get mega pop star Jack Quentin to write a song for the movie. Jack may have been her first kiss and greatest source of shame, but she hasn't spoken to him in 20 years. Now Jane must turn to the last man she ever wanted to owe, Dan Finnegan, because Jack is playing a festival in Dan's hometown and Dan has in. Dan, as she faces down her past, is Jane's idea, but he just might surprise her. Okay, so this may be, I think, fake dating, maybe enemies to lovers. I'm here for it. I've seen some people say this is really cute and good. Frida, The Tenant. I've actually already finished this. So, The Tenant by Frida McFadden. This book is wild. This is a wild ride. A guy, he's a VP in a marketing firm. He loses his job. His life just crumbles down before him in a matter of days, and he has to be able to afford his mortgage, so he rents out one of his rooms, and things start to unfold. So, in true Frida fashion, you don't get it until the end. But yes, The Tenant by Frida McFadden. Now, this one is Till Summer Do Us Part by Megan Quinn. This is my first Megan Quinn book. Yeah, I've heard she's pretty spicy, but I've heard this one is not as spicy. So we'll see if I can handle Megan Quinn. Y'all know me. I don't do a lot of spice. I do maybe one, maybe two, and it needs to be closed door. Okay, I don't want to know all that. I want to love. I want to think. I know some of my girlies love smut. I don't. But Till Summer Do Us Part by Megan Quinn. This says, I got what I wanted. I became a buddy with my boss in an instant, but the cost would be hefty finding a husband by tomorrow. Oh Lord, I think I got fake dating again. Scotty Price just started a new job and is a real sausage fest. She's the only woman on a team filled with Brads and Chads, expecting a bachelor pad atmosphere. She is quickly corrected when she finds out everyone is happily married. In an effort to impress her boss, Scotty mentions her non-existent husband in a company meeting, but eagle-eyed Chad points her lack of a wedding ring. Panicked, Scotty creates a story about her unhappy marriage. Unfortunately for Scotty, her boss has a solution: a one-on-one session with the best marriage counselor in the Northeast, who happens to be her boss's husband. Oh Lord, Scotty. We'll see what happens. Till Summer Do Us Part by Megan Quinn. Let me know if you read this one. Now, these two, I'm going to talk about these two. I'm going to read both of these, but this is Carly Fortune, Every Summer After, and One Golden Summer. Now, from my understanding, I bought this because the cover was super cute, and I was like, oh, this is so cute. But then when I seen some other book girlies talk about it, they said the main character in this book is in this book. So we need to read this. So we're going to do Every Summer After by Carly Fortune, and then we got Golden Summer. These are probably going to be vacation books, so that's why I got these out. So that's where we go with these. Super cute. Now, this one is also gonna be vacation. Can't Get Enough, Kennedy Ryan. Y'all, if you know, you know. Look at that. Look at that cover. Look at. This is the last book in the Skyland series. It's bittersweet. It's bittersweet that Skyland is over, but I have thoroughly enjoyed my times with these girls. These women, I should say, because this series has just been super, super good. This is Hendrix's story. Hendrix is the best friend with this friend group. She is childless by choice. She is the boss. She's just doing her thing, and now we get her story. And I'm super excited to read this. Kennedy Ryan is auto-buy. I would love to see her in person. I'm probably going to have to really be on it the rest of this year to try to find her. Because sometimes she comes to my state and I don't know it until after. And I don't like that for me. So, Kennedy Ryan, Can't Get Enough. Loving that. And last but not least on these hopefuls is my girl. Look, just, okay. Taylor Jenkins Reid, Atmosphere. All I know is this is about something about space, something about NASA, something like that. It says, thrilling, heartbreaking, uplifting, Taylor Jenkins Reid's novel, Atmosphere, is a fast-paced, emotional charged story of one ambitious young woman finding both her voice and her passion as she fights to become one of the first female NASA astronauts in the 1980s. That's it. That's all you gotta know. And she wrote it. That's it. So those are my hopefuls. I don't know right now, my current for this week, I'm starting with what are we starting with? We're starting with Annabelle Monaghan. That's the ones we're starting with. Prayerfully, we'll get this done, and then like I said, I have some time off, and so we're going to do some reading, we're going to do some challenges, we're going to do some sprints, and hopefully we can get all of these books read in this month. What y'all think? I think we can do it. At least get close, because these are, like I said, all of these are the ones are part of that huge book haul that I had, that I've done over the course of months, and I still have a ton of books that I bought, and I got 3 coming today. Anyway, it's a good problem to have. So yeah, so that's our June wrap up and July reads. Let me know what you're reading this month. Do you have a TBR? look, I've been saying this, I've been seeing a lot of people say it, that they're mood readers. And I am a mood reader, but I try to read the books that I chose to pick out for that month, because those are books that I really want to get read. And so out of that, I try to get a variety of different ones, between a mystery, a fantasy, a love story, romance, maybe some women's fiction. And so I kind of get a few of those, and then it kind of fills my cup. That's what I do. Let me know what you do to make sure that you're filling your reading cup, and having a good time with your reads. All right, guys. Hey, if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Love to have you. I would love to get to 500 subscribers this month. So guys, if you share this video with a friend, if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so that you can get the videos when they pop up. And I'm going to try my best to be a little better with posting this month and for the rest of this year. If you know, you know. All right, guys, until next time, be kind to yourself, be kind to someone else, and read you some good books. Bye, guys.